Alright, so good day everyone. My name is Paul Lorenzo and I'll be sharing my understanding of the supply chain problem based on the Excel file provided. So this falls under my supply chain management course handled by Mr. Fantilio, and the topic we're exploring is inventory and order quantity decisions for seasonal products. So the case overview. So a publisher is printing calendars for the coming year. The demand for the calendars is normally distributed with a mean of 70,000 and a standard deviation of 25,000. So the cost per calendar is $3 and they are sold for $10 each. All unsold calendars are recycled at the end of January. So how many calendars should the publisher have printed? What is the expected profit? The printer has offered to discount the printing cost to $2.75 per calendar if the publisher orders at least 100,000. What should the publishers do? All right, so um, the questions to answer are number A and B, which is how many calendars should the publishers print and what is the expected profit. And question number 2 is that if the printer offers a discounted cost of $2.75 per calendar for a minimum order of 100,000, what should the publishers do? So let's do part 1 first. So that one has without discount. So we have a given here of 70,000 as a demand. And then the standard deviation is 25,000. All right. So the unit cost is $3 for the regular price. And then the sales price is $10. And then we have a salvage value of 0. So let's calculate. So when we're calculating the cost of understocking, or which is CU, so that is equal to price minus unit. All right. Which is unit cost minus, sales price minus the unit cost. So that's 10 minus 3 equals to $7. So we have $7 here. As you can see in the formula. All right, now let's compute for the cost of overstocking. So when we say cost of overstocking, that's usually the other way around. So we have to minus the sales price, the salvage value minus the sales price. So 0 minus 3 or 3 minus 0 is $3. And then the optimal service level, how do we calculate for that? Very simple. When we say calculating here, you have to put in on top your $7, which is the cost of understocking, divided by your cost of understocking plus your cost of overstocking. So under and over, add them together, you get 10. So 7 divided by 10 is 0.7. All right. And then step 3, we have to find the optimal order of quantity. So how do we do that? All right. So when we get the optimal order quantity using the inverse normal distribution function with a probability of 0.7, and the mean as 70,000 and the standard deviation as 25,000, as you can see here, we get an optimal order quantity of approximately 83,110 calendars produced. All right, so next step is that we have to compute for the expected profit. So using equation 12.3, we have to calculate the expected profit, which is equal to 3,777. All right, so here you can see the expected overstock also. We can compute the expected overstock is around 17,869. As you can see, we just have to use the normal distribution. All right, so let's head on with part 2, discount. All right, so now for the printer. Now the printer offers a discount of $2.75 per calendar if the publisher orders at least 100,000 calendars. So we have to update our values then. So the unit cost should be 2.75, as you can see here. And then the sales price should be $10. And then the salvage value is still 0. But we have an order quantity of 100,000. Now we have to recalculate our cost of understocking and overstocking. So how do we do that? So for the cost of understocking, we have 10 minus your 2.75. That will be equal to 7.25, as you can see here. And then the cost of overstocking, remember the formula for the cost is 2 minus unit cost subtracted by the salvage value. So 2.75 minus 0 will be still 2.75. Now for the step 2, use given order quantity. So we already know that the order quantity is 100,000. So we don't have to calculate the optimal level here. But now we have to compute for the expected profit. So how do we do that? So using the equation 12.3, we have to calculate the following. So we get the expected profit of 410,974. And then for the expected overstock, using the formula again, we get 31,403. So to answer the questions, how many calendars should the publisher have printed and what is the expected profit? So if I were to write this one here, the publisher should print at least 83,110 calendars. And then what is the expected profit? That is 3,077. All right, so if you were to read this aloud and answer it properly, the publisher should print 83,000 and 110 calendars, balancing the risk of understocking and overstocking. And then the expected profit in this case is 3,700. Now for letter B, should the publisher accept the discount offer? Yes, they should. If the publisher orders 110,000 calendars, 100,000 calendars at the discounted rate of $2.75, the expected profit increases to $410,900. Just underline that. Despite more overstock of at least 31,143 versus 17,869. So the lower cost per unit leads to significantly higher overall profits. So why are the worksheets designed this way? The worksheets are structured to compare two pricing scenarios and guide the decision making. So they allow the users to calculate, number one, the optimal order quantities. Number two is to understand the financial trade-offs of understocking versus overstocking. Evaluate how bulk discount offers affect profit. This side-by-side comparison ensures that the most cost-effective and profitable approach is chosen. So lessons learned and application. So this case study highlights how bulk discounts can significantly improve profitability even with increased overstock. Sometimes ordering more at a lower cost is better than ordering just enough at a higher price. So this concept can be applied to real life businesses like, for example, let's just say a simple printing company, and the company could buy in bulk or have it printed in bulks at a discount rate by analyzing expected demand, storage capacity, and third is spoilage risks. And the company can decide whether bulk purchasing leads to better overall profit margins, just like in this calendar example of the printers. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you learned something very well here, or at least meaningful. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good one.